When Adam and Eve sinned, when they fell into temptation and denied God being in the first place and put themselves in the first place, they did not only shatter their relationship with God, alienating humans from God, but they became alienated from each other. And the earth, the very fabric, the shalom of the universe, was ripped apart and torn asunder. The Creator made all things good, and in our sin, we submitted all things to bondage in sin. The animal kingdom, human relations, nature, all the peace of the Creator's very good world was torn apart because of our sin. And the entire universe needs reconciliation. And it can only come from the one who created all things to be able to reconcile all things to himself. And that comes to really the supreme question of existence. How in the world can God reconcile a sinful world? What in the world could we ever do to become right with God? This is the question of every religion, every thought. How can mankind find peace or make peace with God? Because God surely can't lower his standards. He can't just look the other way as a holy, righteous God. So what's he going to do? He can crush us. He can wipe us out. But how could he possibly deal with our sin and not do that? And how can man, being dead in sin, possibly please God? Alienated by sin, how could we ever reach God? Hostile in mind to God means we don't even want to do those things in ourselves. So unable to save himself, unable to make peace with God, unable to please God, unable to even desire such things, how could mankind be reconciled? And that's the good news. If there's any peace, if there's any reconciliation, it has to come from God himself. He has to initiate it. He has to fulfill it. So the Father initiated the plan. He was pleased that the fullness of God the Son would dwell in the human man Christ. But it was not merely the incarnation of Jesus that would bring peace, nor would peace be bought by Jesus' godly example before men, or him revealing the Father to men. What does it tell us here? It had to come, the peace be made through the sacrificial outpouring of his blood on the cross.